Was President Trump's personal physician, and he's also a retired Navy Rear Admiral, now running for Congress in Texas. Dr. Jackson, first of all, thank you for being here, but more importantly, thank you for your service on both the Navy side and also the Marine, sir. Let's talk a little bit. I want to talk about what's going on these ships. On the naval ships, there seems to be outbreaks of COVID-19, also on cruise ships. Tell us what is unique about a ship, a vessel, that is a breeding ground for this virus.
Well, I don't think it's anything in particular about, the structure of the vessel, but it's just the configuration and the fact that you have large number of sailors that have to live in close proximity to each other. It goes so far as even on submarines, sometimes they have to share racks where they sleep in the same bed and they just alternate shifts. So it's just one of those situations where you have a large number of people crammed into a small area. It's very difficult to do any kind of social distancing in that environment. And so if one person does get infected, it's easy to spread it to someone else, and it spreads pretty rapidly. So that's just one of the just basic things that you can't really get around being on a ship, whether it's a cruise ship or destroyer or an aircraft carrier.
Sure. And I was just wondering if is it more about the people, as you're saying, or more about whether or not you can keep a vessel like that clean and virus-free? I'd like to move on a little bit. The president had Kellyanne Conway on last week, and I asked her, how's the president doing emotionally? The man has the weight of the free world on his shoulders, not just this country. Sir, you were his physician. Tell us the stresses of being president, especially under something like this. What's he going through?
Well, a lot of folks will let the stress just build on them day by day. And the president, fortunately for us, is not wired that way, to be honest with you. I saw him last week. I popped up to D.C. to get some stuff done, and I went out to visit with him a little bit. He's in great spirit. He looks good. He's got a lot of stamina, a lot of energy. And I made the observation a long time ago, Eric, that he's unique in the sense that things can happen during the day, and he can get spun up about this, that, or the other, and all kinds of stuff's happening. He'll go to bed at night. He'll get up the next morning, and he just resets. And he doesn't let it build on him. Every day is a new day for him, and he kind of thrives on being in the middle of the action. And so I think he's a unique individual in that way, and I think it's serving us here as Americans, it's serving our country well.
No doubt the man has more energy than anyone, certainly anyone I've ever known at 7 years plus. But tell me about this. He says famously over the last couple of days, he said he hasn't left the White House grounds with the exception of once traveling to Virginia to set off the hospital ship on its way to New York. As his physician, or formerly his physician, is that healthy? Is it okay for the president to stay within the White House grounds?
Sure, I think he's doing the same thing he's asking everybody else in the country to do over the last few weeks, is just not go out if you don't need to. And of course, being the president of the United States, you don't have to go out. The people that you need to interact with, they come to you, and that's one of the big advantages. And the White House medical unit's been super aggressive in making sure that everyone is properly screened and tested before they come to the White House, and certainly before they end up in the Oval Office talking to the president. So he's very safe there. He's got great people that take care of him there, and I think it's fine.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. I speak to him quite often, and when this whole thing with the bleach and what he had said about ingesting disinfectants, I looked at that and I was like, okay, the guy's under a lot of stress. He's under a lot of pressure. All he wants to do is save American lives, help Americans. He's throwing some ideas out there. He said it was sarcasm. I don't know. Maybe he's got people telling him to go with sarcasm instead of what it may have been. Doctor, do you think it was just a matter of a lot of stress, a lot of things going on at once, and something came out? Like it happens with everyone. It just happened to be with the president of the United States.
Sure, I think he's just, he's brainstorming a little bit. He said it in a sarcastic way, and he's not a physician, and he never claimed to be a physician. He's out there throwing things out on occasion, and stuff that makes good medical sense. The doctors will validate. The stuff that doesn't, they won't. And I think there just a lot was made out of that, and I don't think it should have been quite such a big deal at all. Honest with you.
All right, Doctor, you're running for Congress in Texas. You got some pretty cool endorsements. Who are you running against, and what's your platform? What's your meteor platform?
Well, I think I'm running against a guy right now who's a lobbyist in D.C. He's a lobbyist for the Cattle Feeders Association. It's just the two of us. There were 15 of us in the race to start with. The two of us made it to the runoff, and we're building momentum like nobody's business out here. We can just feel the network growing day by day in an exponential fashion. Now, my platform is what's important for everybody else in this country. I'm concerned about healthcare. I think as a physician, I have an ability to really make a difference on healthcare. I also am concerned about immigration. I'm concerned about regulatory reform. And I'm concerned about the moral decay in our country right now. Those are all things that are important to people up here in my district, in the 13th Congressional District of Texas, in Amarillo and Wichita Falls. And those are things I can make a big difference. And the thing I have going for me that my candidate or that my opponent does not is I have relationships. I just came from the White House. I spent every day there for the last 3 years working side by side with folks in the executive branch. So I have the ability to get stuff done from day one. And that's what I'm going to bring to the fight.
I will tell you, you are one respected physician. We do appreciate your time on this show. Again, you got some high-level endorsements, not only, I guess, from the president, if it's coming or has been already come out, but also the Young Conservatives of Texas. That's an important one as well. I'm going to say thank you to Dr. Ronny Jackson. Again, thank you for your service. Thank you service to the military. Thank you service to the president. And thank you. And good luck with your campaign, sir.